Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
what show has no likable characters? Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kalu. The premise of that abomination has got to be, how can we make the audience of a kids show root for cancer? Quote, it's a misconception that Kalu has cancer. In fact, it's his body recognizing that he doesn't deserve hair. Succession. They are all awful people. Yes, not a single character is likable, but the show is still brilliant. It's funny. You start to empathize with a character for a bit. Then they just do the most awful shite. Repeatedly. While It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is hilarious and easily quotable, none of the main characters are likable in real life and have no redeeming qualities. I don't recall ever sympathizing with their characters. Isn't kind of the whole idea the creators had is that it's the anti-sitcom? I.e. most sitcoms have pretty likable people, living in nice apts that their jobs really couldn't afford, hanging out in fancy coffee shops, and they're always the hero of the story. Whereas IASIP, they are horrible people, running a dive bar, living in shitty apts, and ruining the lives of everyone around them. Going with the anti-sitcom, I've also read that sitcoms write with the idiot ball idea. All of the characters are smart, but each episode someone gets to be the subject by holding the idiot ball. It's Always Sunny does the anti-sitcom approach where all of the characters are idiots and unlikable, but each episode someone gets to hold the smart ball and possibly be likable. Seinfeld is the same. They don't lean into it as hard, but they're all collectively a bunch of unlikable people. Haha, the episode where Susan died and everyone is just like, well. I watched the only season of The Mist TV series and I was rooting for The Mist to kill everyone. The Mist was likable. His name is Carl. This show had so much potential with such an extremely easy foundation to build off of, and they just tanked it from the very start. Tiger King. I like the tigers. Everyone who was missing a body part was quite nice. I think the young men Joe Exotic dated didn't seem like bad people, just lost. Same with the women that the creepy South Carolina guy groomed. Wasn't one of them a straight guy that was more or less pretending to be gay because Joe was buying him drugs and like four-wheelers and stuff? Veep was very funny, but I really did not want any of the characters to succeed. I don't know. Marguerite and Richard Splett both seem like awesome humans. I think their only downfall is getting intermingled with the rest of them. Also, I think that's one of the funniest shows ever made. Richard was a genuinely good person and deserved his success. Lena Dunham's Girls. I always feel like smacking some sense into all the characters. Right? They all treat each other and everyone else like shit. How to Get Away with Murder. I couldn't stand any of them. Season 1, when they were genuinely just a bunch of college kids who badly fucked up, wasn't too bad. Maybe not straight up likable, but I was able to sympathize with them a little. Anything after that just snowballed into a horrible mess with horrible people and took out what little redeeming qualities the characters had. On top of which the brilliant attorney they are covering for would have had all her cases thrown out in real life for things like introducing evidence after discovery. All her wins are from cheating the rules of court. When they said she's never lost a case, and I was like, well, that would raise red flags. How to Get Away with Murder. Interpersonal relations in a nutshell. Annalise. I went to jail, been beaten, risked my career, destroyed my family to cover for your naive asses. Students. Okay, thanks. Annalise. Also, I forgot to order pizza. Students. You lying bitch, I want you dead, you never cared for us. Friends from college, but I think that was the point. Friends from College takes the It's Always Sunny idea of bad likable characters and makes them insufferable. I just left a comment on this show, too. They are all so shitty and self-absorbed. The only character with redeeming qualities is, ironically, the one written to come off as more of a jerk on the surface. Fred Savage's husband. Turns out he is just a jerk to his husband's friends. Because they are terrible people. I gave up after one season. Think. The View. Technically they aren't characters but close enough. Oh dear God. I used to work in a store where one of my coworkers would turn that show on every single day. It was consistently despicable. I still remember when the South Park movie came out. The hosts did a small bit talking about it and how it's a cartoon with swearing and, oh my. Think of the children. Quote. At one point all the hosts decided to brag about how they had never said curse words in their lives. And I wished I could see their noses growing. Glee. There are some characters that are okay though. But seriously, if I could go into the universe of any show I would go into Glee just so I can fucking murder Rachel Berry. I like Sue purely because Jane Lynch is an absolute acting genius in Glee. Riverdale. You obviously just don't understand the epic highs and lows of high school football. I sometimes feel bad for the actors. 'Cause they do have talent. Most of them. But even with the material they work with, it's hard to make their characters likable. But even with the material they work. Every time I hear a plot synopsis of Riverdale, it is the absolute most insane thing. I remember the exact moment the trailer for the season 1 was dropped. I had been waiting for a really good Archie adaptation, but saw a weird teaser where some red football player was FC King his teacher in a car. I was like, WTF? Still weird it exists and even has new seasons.